about the fact that you were told that Ping It would be available, and then the fact that you were told that Ping It wasn't available. You've got the fact that I've got in contact with Sonia Bass and checked with her, that I reviewed the previous notepads and discovered that one of them was stating that no products or services to be offered, the fact that I am going to change and add to your name to say that no products to be offered, to make it very clear for future if you ever need to be in contact and things like that. So all of that is documented within that complaint reference.
This reference, Charlie Romeo, is that a G?
Which bit?
Charlie Romeo Golf Zulu.
Yeah, that's a G. Zulu, Juliet, Kilo, Tango, Whiskey, Foxtrot 9.
Okay. Is that a lowercase f at the end, or?
Oh no, all of these are capitals.
Okay, cool. So that was opened yesterday?
No, that was opened today, this morning.
Okay, and
because
it's now been closed down.
Because I was under the impression Muna would have logged it for you.
Yeah.
But
okay.
when I came in today, Muna hadn't, because she's on the understanding that I was doing it. And as you knew, literally after saying goodbye to you yesterday, I had to leave the branch because I was leaving at 3 o'clock.
Fine, okay.
So I was not aware it hadn't been logged until today.
So my final, so I mean, obviously I've made my position clear in terms of the fact that I don't really agree that, speaking to somebody on the phone and then speaking to somebody else at the branch, then speaking to another person on the phone, then speaking to Muna, then speaking to you liaising with all your team, and then turning around and saying after, 3 hours and 2 hours on the phone and another meeting that I can't have a financial product. I don't agree with that, and I think that's a waste of my time, and I appreciate that, if you verified that both of those people did work for Barclays, that Summit and Ibisic both work for Barclays, then you're not in the wrong there to a certain extent. But like I said, I do feel that my time being wasted, and the fact that you didn't make me, if it was only one person that didn't know, I wouldn't mind so much. But like I said, I've spoken to somebody on the phone on Saturday, and then he's invited me to branch, and then I've spoken to somebody downstairs, one of your bankers with a tablet, and they haven't been able to tell me, and then they've invited me to speak to somebody else on the phone, Abisic, for 40 minutes. He couldn't tell me. He told me that I was going to be able to get Ping It sorted. I've spoken to Muna. She's spoken with about 5 different people and left me sat there waiting for 40 minutes while she's done a whole load of things, taken all my personal details, 2 forms of photo identification, and then said that Ping It will be available. Then you and I have spoken, admittedly, as I said, at length regarding security verification and issues which are relative to my hypervigilance, which I understand from your point of view is atypical. But I'm just trying to get to grips with where the nature of this complaint, if I'm going to take that to the Ombudsman, I feel that, at the very least, I should have been made aware from the outset that if I wasn't, that wasn't allowed the product, and, that failure is probably systemic and endemic, and it's a systems failure rather than anybody's personal failure. I'm sure if somebody had that information in front of them and they could see it, then they would have said, yeah, Brodie, please don't waste any more, I'm sure if you could have seen it on your screen, you would have just said,
we wouldn't have wasted some time yesterday.
Exactly, of course, and that's Barclays failing. If you're going to blacklist a customer, then you need to be able to put that into a language and into a systems database and administrative, protocol that people can, diagnostically assess and give people, a clear and present understanding. Like I do suffer from a mental illness. I am paranoid, and I do have a sort of a schizoaffective disorder, which affects me more on some days than other days, which is why. I am overly vigilant, but equally, like I said, when I ask somebody for a job title and they give me 5 different names, as you've said, so maybe that's and again, a systems failure with Barclays, but for me, I don't think anybody, if someone went to a cashier, they couldn't tell them. I think that's fair enough, and I don't think that's unreasonable. If you've decided not to compensate me for the fact that 5 people, effectively, what we've had, Summit, Bethany downstairs with her tablet, Muna, and yourself, and I think another lady walked in as well briefly.
Emma, but she felt you were threatening and aggressive, and she didn't want to continue speaking with you.
What I said to her was that I tried to explain the situation that my brother had been abducted and was being threatened, and that the fraud that I suffered was a result of that. And Muna had just identified. She just said, "Yeah, I can see you've been the victim of fraud." And so I was sort of saying, getting this application up and running so that I can separate the wheat from the chaff and find out whether there is real Barclays employees who are trying to do their job and people who are organised criminals who have abducted members of the British public and potentially, been involved in fatalities, as dark as that sounds. Like I said, both my parents died within the space of a year. that was kind of where I was going with that. But I understand that she might have felt, you know, that is quite alarming. It's not the sort of thing you hear every day in a branch meeting, you know, and I respect that. If you're not going to offer any compensation for the fact that I've wasted hours and hours of my life and I've been, you know, led to believe, you know, I thought I was going to turn up here and you were going to make the ping at work, you know, say, you know, there's 50 quid or 100 quid to say sorry. And in an ideal world, maybe you were going to say, actually, I have looked at your YouTube channel, which you said you had. I appreciate that.
I have. I saw a BT one. I saw a Lloyds Bank complaint one.
Indeed, yeah. What I was hoping was that maybe you were going to say, we're actually really interested, and, you know, I've got like a terabyte hard drive there with, you know, reams and reams of information on it. And
it
you know,
reminded me of the calls that I heard, because when I listened to something that you said to a colleague in Lloyds and the complaints team, I couldn't believe, considering how you are with me, I couldn't believe it comes out your mouth. And I was disgusted with what you said to her on the phone.
That's like I said to you when.
Back to it's brilliant that when you come in here, you know.
But it's because I know you work for the bank. I mean, I appreciate you haven't got a name badge on, and believe it or not, like it was funny. I've spoken to Beth. Beth was the 5th person this week that I've spoken to. I've been into various different businesses, and I just get approached by people with plain clothes, and I asked them where their name badge. And I went into the opticians the other day, and there was a lady there that didn't have a name badge, and I asked her where it was, and she said she'd just been promoted, and then also that she'd lost it. And I thought that wasn't really much. I went somewhere else. I went to a supermarket, and somebody wouldn't give me a receipt for the item that I was buying. I'd just been and pawned some jewellery.
Well, mine, I don't normally wear it because I am not customer facing generally. However, I do own one. Can I just check your phone a moment? Because if you're recording me, I'll be extremely upset with you.
Yeah, I'm going live on YouTube, yeah.
So, Brodie, hi guys. At what point do you think that recording our conversation, considering following yesterday's conversation, you specifically stated that you ask for permission? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're about to kick me out of the branch and tell me that I'm never allowed any more financial products.
Recording that without asking permission, as you stated yesterday that you would do.
I'm doing it as much.
And you don't even have the respect to inform me that you are.
I would have yesterday when Moona asked me not to record. I stopped straight away.
Conversation over. You can get out now.
I'm happy to leave.
I'm happy having a conversation with you where we're respectful with each other and we can have a nice, calm conversation. But you have literally
I was totally respectful. Yeah, if you feel that's out of order, I respect that. But yesterday I was completely. I followed all of your requests and I didn't record, and all you guys have done is completely let me down. Like,
get out! I do not want to be one of your new YouTube stars. Okay?
That's fine. I'll just get my things and I'll leave straight away. It's not a problem. I hope you can understand that it's as much for your
Brodie,
security as my own.
I do not understand your actions whatsoever, considering the conversation that we had yesterday.
I was totally respectful.
And I will monitor your YouTube channel, and if that appears there, then I will be notifying Barclays to get it removed, because I'm extremely unhappy about that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Especially considering how nice that we have managed to have a conversation. I'm massively
Mate, I was totally respectful for your privacy yesterday, but all you've done today is completely you've lied to me and you've not offered me any compensation.
Brodie,
I'm
no
happy to leave,
interested.
Kirsty. Yeah, that's fine.
Your complaint is logged.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to go to the
You may now get out of the
ombudsman.
branch. I can't believe you've done that. Just get your stuff.
I am. That's what I'm doing. That's fine.